So this is for the week of June 1st, 2026. There she is. We're looking at Jupiter, Uranus, Mercury, the north and the south nodes. We'll talk and touch on Chiron. That's going to be a major thing. And I'm going to tie it all together. It's a common theme that keeps showing up again and again. June 1st and the following 7 days. And so that's where we're going to go. We're going to start at the very beginning. Mercury entering Cancer energy. Feelings, homes, family, the past, my culture, my tribe, my ancestry. And it is property as well. Feminine energy, women treated like property. Truly. And what do you do with property? You buy it and you sell it, right? Yeah. So Mercury dipping in here. Jupiter giving us the history, the past, for some, the revelations, but the justice system, the judicial system, the uses, the abuses, the lack of, there's a big focus on values and the health of our values, the health of our value system. Cancer is also connected to mental well-being because it's our emotional health. So our mental body, our mental energetic, our emotional energetics. Maybe this is property, but maybe it's mom energy too. And this is my emotional security, my emotional stability. How am I emotionally satisfied? The public is part of the moon energy. The public is Cancer energy. So when we talk about tribal energy and ancestry, and is humanity ready? Is humanity ready to arrive at the bigger meaning of Cancer energy? Because when we talk tribal, well, what's the bigger tribe, right? It's not just my blood relatives. We graduate. And what do we graduate to? What's that next step? It's not that our families, I don't know what just moved. I don't think there's a cat in here or something totally just moved. Hold on. Oh, a freaking cat just came in because I'm like, something totally just freaking moved and it wasn't just like something falling on the ground. I felt that. There is a cat. Okay, come on. It's Zoe because Taffy's normally clunkier and it's very obvious. Zoe thinks she's a freaking ninja. Yeah, you think you're a ninja. You're a little ninja creeping around the corners, standing under the shower curtain, acting like nobody knows she's there, but you see her feet and her tail sticking out. The little ninja. She's so slick with the little feet and the tail sticking out. That's you. Okay. Now for kitty cat time. So is humanity ready to graduate? First to the third, Mercury in Cancer. So emotional communications. What is our home? Where is my home? Where do I want to live? Am I staying here? Are these people still my family, even though they're blood or even though they're not blood? And I used to consider them family. And that's about part of the truth and the freedom and the justice of Jupiter. And are we able to see the truth? Jupiter, kind of springs into action at the 24, bringing higher knowledge. Some say downloads, just these big ahas where we just know something. There's that degree that has that same vibration where I don't know how I know this, but I just know it. Like it's a knowing. So it's going to flip this week on the 5th. It goes from 24 to 25. And the 25 then says, so I take this knowing and what do I do with it? Well, 25 is the body. I can fight. It's my rights. It's my freedoms. I'm going to take action. I'm not going to just sit. I'm going to do something with this. Action happening. And it will likely be focused on, for some folks, it might be publishing something, right? For some folks, it might be the decision to go on vacation or going on vacation or traveling, getting in a plane, traveling long distances. Beliefs about my future and the freedoms, the future of my freedoms is really the thing that's going on individually, but also collectively. The node is actually on the 4th going to change. It's moving fast now, and it goes from 3 to 2 degrees. So now we're talking about money and values. talking about money and values and the future of those objects, the future of whatever your money and your values are. But again, institutional energy. So hospitals, doctors, healthcare. Okay. But it's not limited to that. Just remember institutional energy, government energy. Okay. And the funding and the money. And this 4 degrees is a big thing in this chart. It's a big thing for 2026. Part of your brain waking up and coming online. It's the best way I can explain that. Okay. So being aware about perceptions and truths and the future and reality and the big picture. It's the awakener. That's the Uranian energy, waking up the mind. As soon as Mercury gets within the shadow zone of its retrograde, we start to we're rethinking things a little bit deeper. That's an area of our life and a timeline where we'll have to be revisiting some things, some choices, some options. The Mercury retrograde will go from 16 degrees to 26 degrees, which is right where Jupiter is conjunct, because Jupiter will be at 25. So the whole point of all of that was pay attention this week, because you should be able to get a bit of a foreshadow. The conversations, the communications, feelings and emotions, home, family, property, values. And so this is just a time to understand where we are going over the details and we're gathering information. Chiron is at 29 and it will be at 29. I think I said to the end of the month. This is important because, again, this is that critical degree of holy shit, this is crisis almost, because it's Aries energy, fight or flight type of energy, wounds to my body, wounds to my identity. For some folks, again, identity crisis. But because Aries is supposed to, on a really high level, it has the ability to be a spiritual leader. And we have Neptune here, which we know that's been war overseas, right? Spiritual crisis. So I feel like a big part of the Aries energy is the understanding of it's not just about my physical body, spirit, and soul, ego, spirit, soul. Like there's that combination and the recognition that this 29 degrees of Aries is going to test all of us. Obviously, for someone who's got something near these degrees, right? So that's 29 and 0 degrees of Taurus. These are big points where we're trying to build our own self-esteem, but we have to figure out how we are of value, how we feel about ourselves as of being worthy, being lovable. Like, am I a commodity to myself? How do I not betray myself? Do I stand up for myself? Do I have my own back? Can I depend on myself? Like, these are really hard questions and they're deep. And I think that when we ask them and we get some self-discipline, because Saturn is in Aries and so many have been doing this, have been performing little acts, little steps of building discipline, basically proving to themselves that they can do it, that they are good, like their word means something. They can follow through on their word and they can trust themselves to follow through. So I think all of that comes down to building the self-esteem and the self-worth and the self-love and self-care, addressing all those layers of who I actually am. At 29 degrees, a crisis point, Chiron enters Taurus on the 20th of June. Oh, I think I said the last of the month. Then the 20th of June, but it will retrograde, and we'll talk more about that at a later time. I think that's August or something-ish when the retrograde begins. It will retrograde back into Aries to that 29 degrees. So this isn't a one and done. This is something, if we don't take care of it now, if we don't really dig deep and discover the wounds of our physical body, our emotional body, our spiritual body, if we don't uncover the layers of who we are, of our identity, and everything that makes that up. And that includes the soul, for sure. Trying to dive a little deeper and get beyond the ego and make sure we're connecting with the soul. Okay. So this is something that if we work on it now, it won't be such a huge deal when the retrograde begins. Sure, there will be work and there will be stress and tension, and it'll probably be intense, but trying to get a jump on it can definitely help. So for this week, emotions should definitely be raised and on high, on 10, as I usually say. You can probably expect that for sure when Mercury gets into Cancer, and also when Jupiter goes to 25 degrees, which is a Martian Mars degree, right? The thing is that with a stellium in any sign, normally a stellium this big takes on a spiritual meaning. So this can be a very beneficial time as well. Don't be, thinking, oh my God, this is horrible. And the stress and the tension is our thoughts and our mind and our day-to-day routines and our health and the future of our healthcare system and the future of the government, the future of our values, who and what we value.